Beetlejuice.
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 It's showtime.
And welcome everybody back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
And Steve.
Hey!
And back is Bebo.
What's up?
Today we are going to be reviewing the movie Beetlejuice. Before we get started...
Wait, are you sure? Oh, wait, did they not figure that out from the stinger?
That they might have. But before we actually review the movie, we are going to watch the trailer.
Yes.
Come
Here we
on.
go.
Come on, give it a bite.
From the Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Adam and Barbara are ghosts.
What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?
Their house is being haunted by the living,
Maybe the house could use a little remodeling.
and they can't scare them into leaving.
They're dead. It's a little late to be neurotic.
So they're calling on Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah!
Can you be scary? What do you think of this?
You like it?
Now, the party
You
is
get
over.
scary.
Put somebody out of the house. I want to get somebody out here.
But the
Don't you just hate when that happens?
has just begun.
It's showtime.
Step right up, with no praise.
Oh.
This is amazing.
Graham.
Cigarette?
Oh, no.
No, I'm trying to quit.
Oh.
Yeah, here I come, baby.
He's guaranteed to put some
Adam!
Attention, Kmart shoppers.
in your after.
Kmart shoppers.
Robert
Michael
Houlihan.
is Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
All right. Well, that is Beetlejuice. It is basically a story about a couple who fall off a bridge, die, and now they're trying to manage the afterlife. People buy their house, and they want them out of the house, so they call on Beetlejuice, and he is a lot of problems.
You could give them names. Their names are Adam and Jane.
I could give. Okay, Adam and
It's
Jane.
it's Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis.
That I do know, but I'm just saying they've like I said,
Two
they died
people
because-
fall off a bridge because a dog is a dick.
Yeah, the dog freaking jumps off the board and then they die.
And unexpectedly, they don't even know they're dead, which is the funny.
Well, that's
part
usually
at the
what happens
beginning,
when
yes.
you die. You usually don't know you're dead.
What?
Until
I
you
don't
walk,
know. I don't know from secondhand experience.
until you walk out the front door and you find out you're on Saturn with sandworms.
You hate them, right?
Whoa.
I hate them myself.
Danworth, hate him.
But yeah, it's a fun. It's a Tim Burton movie, so you kind of
Absolutely.
expect a lot of Tim Burton isms, in the whole movie. Nice. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is quotes, I should say, is when he knocks over the tree and says, "Nice, fucking model."
Oh,
I used to get in trouble all the time as a child for
Yes.
quoting that exact line. As a child, whether the movie was playing or not, I would quote it, and knowing I was going to get in trouble.
Worth it.
I
Worth
loved it.
All right, so that's my quick synopsis and review of the movie. I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's a Tim Burton movie. If you like Tim Burton movies, you will like this one. Mikey the Freak,
no.
how'd you like the movie? Give us your
I
thoughts on it.
hated it. I absolutely hated it. No, this movie is slapstick funny. It's humorous. The scene at the dinner table with the calypso is
Dad,
probably one of the biggest
What's that,
scenes in
Dad?
the entire movie. However, the movie is, I'd say, 90% quotable.
Yes.
Every scene, there's always something that you can quote. Even if you've seen it like 5 or 6 times, there's always something that you can go and and talk about. You know what I mean? So yeah, the movie, like I said, very quotable, funny, hilarious. Definitely a Tim Burton dark and corny humor. But just one of those movies you always stay, you're always laughing. You kind of feel for Winona Ryder as she's that outcast type character that starts to open up and she actually feels for the dead.
She's the
Uh,
super
yeah,
goth
super
character.
goth,
Yeah.
super goth. But yeah, fun, exciting type movie. Steve, what about yourself?
You know,
Anything
you say
from the movie?
super goth. You say super goth, and all I can think of is Super Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 with the emo, like, I don't want to talk to you, Turtles, right now. I'm just going to go to my room and listen to music. That's what I think of when I think super goth. Man, I love this movie as this is the second movie that was theatrically directed by Tim Burton. It really sets the pace of where he's going as a director with his life, with the exception of neither Johnny Depp nor Helena Bonham Carter
Yeah,
being in this film. No, I love
sure.
this movie. I've been watching this movie since I was a child. I was very fortunate enough one year before he passed. I met Glenn Shaddix at Comic Con. I got his autograph on a notebook piece of paper somewhere that just says to Steve Glenn Shaddix. And he was a super nice guy, only person from Beetlejuice I've met. But what a cast! I won't get into it for Mikey's sake. Um, great soundtrack, which I'll get into later, and
Mhm.
you know who doesn't love it? I'm going this way. Bebo,
Yep.
what do you think about it?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
You
He's
can
Jesus
back.
you
Christ.
can
He doesn't
lie.
watch shit.
Bebo, you can lie. There are movies that we have done on here that I've done the episode of, and I just lie.
Yeah,
I just lie and say, loved
yeah.
it. Great. It was a great episode. Great one.
I was gonna watch it, but I was busy rewatching Mac and Me just in case.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Um,
Here they come. Here it
Oh,
comes.
but no,
Listen, you're not Paul Rudd. You're not Paul Rudd on the Conan O'Brien show.
I actually really like this movie. It is it's a cult classic. It's a cult favorite. Like everyone said, you can definitely tell this is a Tim Burton movie all the way. Um, it had a lot of comedy from Michael Keaton,
yes.
which is not something you always see in his movies. But he did a fantastic job, I thought, as Beetlejuice. I really liked the story. Again, the dinner scene was fucking hysterical.
Mhm.
Um, and the fact that they liked it afterwards, that everybody sat
Right.
around and talked about it instead of running out of the house. I was like, those would be the type of people I would be hanging out with. Um, but
Dark
no,
and
just
demented.
yeah, but just overall, a great flick.
I tend to agree. Ratings now. Going off of this movie, I enjoyed just about everything about it. I'm going to give this. Oh man, I want to give it a 9, but you know what? I'm giving it a 9. Screw it. I'm giving it a 9. I enjoy this movie. There's going into it. If you know it's a Tim Burton movie, you're gonna it's gonna meet expectations. It's funny. It's quotable. Great soundtrack. All around good movie. I will suggest this to other people who have not seen Beetlejuice. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. Mikey the Freak.
Yeah, definitely going off of that. Solid 9 in my books. Very quotable. I quote the movie all the time. Young Alec Baldwin and young Gina Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Great cast of characters. Winona Ryder, one of her earlier movies. Sorry. Even Jeffrey Jones, Catherine O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
Just a whole cast. Everyone was just great, and a lot of them in their prime in the late '80s. Solid 9 in my books. Can't go wrong. Comedy, great. Loved it. Steve?
9.5. I love this
Oh, okay.
movie. Damn near perfection. What's not to love? There's nothing they do in the movie that isn't considered problematic today. There's nothing that they do in this movie that isn't still dealt with in any way. And I'm talking about life, I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about suicide. I'm talking about death. I'm talking about everything. This movie handles life
It
Mhm.
in
does.
all of its essence, with the exception of
And
like a
death.
baby being born. It doesn't deal with life, with like giving life, but it deals with death and everything else that comes
Yep.
with it.
Mhm.
No, I get it.
I love this movie and I think it's great. Bebo, what are your thoughts?
Um, get used to that. Y'all just did that perfectly. It literally went there, and then there. Um, I am probably going to have to agree with the majority and go with the 9 on this. It's just a overall good movie. There, it's very, very, very hard to find anything in this that you wouldn't find funny or that you didn't like, you didn't get understand or anything like that. Even with the even with the Saturn
Yeah.
part, everything in this is just absolutely hysterical. So I definitely give it a 9. I thought it was great.
Yeah, even with the animation, the stop motion animation that they used, it was still worked for the movie. So I mean,
Yep.
it was pretty. I mean, great. Uh,
Yeah.
Bebo, do you have any interesting facts about this movie?
Yes, I do. So to start off with, when Tim Burton first signed on to helm Beetlejuice, he actually wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice.
Wow, that would have been a
Um,
whole
I'm the
different
ghost with
movie.
the mustache.
He
Oh,
said
that'd be a different movie.
he had been a huge fan of his since childhood. He said, unfortunately, studio executives didn't like the idea of Sammy Davis Jr. playing
That's just a
Beetlejuice,
nice fucking model.
and and unfortunately, they did veto that decision. And actually, before deciding on Michael Keaton, the producers considered Bill Murray, Jack Nicholson, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, and Dudley Moore. So that's one of the ones I had for this. The second one is that the screenplay was originally written as a straight horror film, as opposed to a comedy. It didn't evolve into a comedy until Tim Burton became attached to direct and Michael Keaton signed on to star. Back when it was a horror film, Wes Craven was actually the studio's first choice to
Oh,
direct.
Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
In the much darker original script, Beetlejuice wanted to sexually assault Lydia instead of marry her. When it was changed to a comedy, the studio wanted to call the movie House Ghosts. Burton jokingly suggested Scared Sheetless as a title, and he was actually mortified when executives actually considered using that as a title.
That's funny.
Oh man,
Um,
I don't know what this movie would have been like if it had been called Scared
Sheetless.
Sheetless.
Yeah.
And the last little one I have here is despite playing the title character, Michael Keaton only has 17 minutes of screen time in the movie.
Mhm.
He spent just 2 weeks shooting all of his scenes and has since called it his favorite role he's ever played. During production, Keaton improvised a lot of his dialogue. Some reports have the figure as high as 90% of his lines being ad libbed. He gained enthusiasm for the character when he first arrived on the set in costume, and the crew chanted "Juice, juice, juice, juice" the entire way.
Nice.
So not only was Michael Keaton there, but O.J. Simpson was as well.
Oh, Jesus. I have a little bit of movie memorabilia here. I have the Witch Doctor's Beetlejuice Shrunken Head. You can't do that now, huh? Can't hide yourself. Uh, for $1,200 with $32 shipping. We also have Beetlejuice Sandworm replica prop table wall decor bust for roughly $1,200 and $30
30.
shipping.
You lose me on the shipping. You had
You,
me,
yeah.
and then I see that shipping, and I'm like, get
It's
out
a
of
good,
here.
yeah, it's a good figure, but no shipping. And then the custom Beetlejuice 1/6 scale LED marquee for sideshow figure Keaton, which looks badass for basically $1,200, but free shipping. Free
Sold.
shipping.
I'm
Sold.
in.
Oh,
Sold American. There we go. And that is it
sold.
for movie memorabilia. Steve, What kind of
Oh.
soundtracks do we have on this?
Man, so this movie is entirely soundtracked by Danny Elfman. Long-lasting relationship with Mr. Burton. Besides that, of course, you have Deo in the memorable dinner scene, and then you have "Jump in the Line" out at the very end of the movie by Mr. Henry Belafonte.
Nice, great.
And that's the soundtrack.
That's that's great lines, great soundtrack throughout the whole thing. You know, when
Memorable.
you hear
Very much
that,
so.
you automatically think Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
At least I do
Yes.
anyway.
Yes.
So, Mikey the Freak, what do you have for some related reels, sir?
Yeah, I always hear those songs, and that's the first thing you think of. First thing you think of is
Yep.
Beetlejuice. I went with some of the main characters. I did Michael Keaton, which we've done in the past for Batman, the 1989 Batman, which is one of the best movies of all times.
Batman.
Some of his not say off the wall work, but some of the work that a lot of people don't really seen. Multiplicity is one of them. Have you ever seen Multiplicity?
I love that movie.
The Founder, where he actually was for McDonald's, which
Roy
actually was
Kroc.
very, very good movie. And Gung Ho.
I love that
Okay.
movie as well.
Gung Ho's another good one.
Gung
Alex
Ho?
Gung Ho? What? um, went with Alec Baldwin. I don't know which one he did when he was shooting that woman, but anyway, Framing John. That was cold. I got cold real quick. Sorry, guys.
You know, you
Oh,
said I don't know what he was doing when he was shooting, and I was like, no way, he's just about to make that joke. Like he's about to be like when he was shooting like Hunt for Red October, or when
Yeah,
he
that's
was
what I've
shooting
got. I've got
Memphis
Hunt
Blue.
for Red October. Yeah, Hunt for Red October is a great one that's on here. Rock of Ages, one of his other singing singing debuts.
It's a random one to pick.
Exactly. And then Framing John DeLorean, which actually was a very good movie. If you haven't seen that one,
Did you just pick that one because it's DeLorean, like a man,
No,
like
it's a good movie.
like the car, because Bearded Geek likes Back to the Future?
No, I
Is
mean,
that why? Is that why
the
you
whole
picked it?
channel is back to the retro review.
yeah.
Off
So
of
I had to kind of have that little relation there.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Is
I got
that
one more.
one more? Okay.
Hush. I got one more. Jesus
Oh.
Christ. Holy shit.
I didn't
So
know if you did or not.
I
I was about to
know.
ask you if you had one anymore.
Yeah, sure.
Take forever.
All right, I'm done. Fuck it. I'm over it. Can't do it anymore. Fuck it. In the quote of our first one, fuck you, and fuck you. Okay.
I'm out.
All right, guys. Well, as we come to a close, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
Nobody cares.
I really want to know who the last person he was going to do for Related Reels was.
No, it's too
maybe
bad. No, he's
bad
upset
now.
now.
Too bad.
He's upset. When he gets upset like this, you can't deal with it.
I'm upset. I'm
Too
good.
bad.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Alright, guys. So you can find me on the last podcast you want. It's available on all major podcast outlets for your ears, or every major outlet for your eyes on YouTube.
Awesome.
Tip the bill. Tip the bill. Try the staff. See you next time.
There we go. All right. As we come to a close, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what you thought of Beetlejuice. If you've seen it, if you have not seen it, go see the damn movie. It is good. All right, guys. For Mikey the Freak, Steve, and Bebo, I am the Bearded Geek. Saying keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.